What does it mean? You guys probably forgot this. This is before fall break. What does it mean if I say it's at least? Okay. If your age is at least, you guys are at least 14, right? What does that mean? It means you're 14 or older. So greater than or equal to. And what's the greater than or equal to symbol look like?
It's like
Well, kind of depends on what you mean by good. Some people say that. Whoops. Some people say that's going to the left. So I think of it as pointing to the right, though. That's greater than or equal to.
Where's my pencil?
You gave it to me.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
It's my favorite pencil. You use it
gave
as a
it to me.
machine.
No, you gave it to me.
Okay. On number 2, it says does not exceed. So what does exceed mean? Exceed means it goes over, which is what as an inequality if it's going over?
greater than.
Greater than. Okay, so if it does not exceed, what's the opposite of greater than?
Less than.
Less than or equal to. If it's not greater than, it has to be less than or equal to. So that's number 2. Yeah, we haven't really done the opposite thing since this assignment. So on number 3, it says write the inequality that's equivalent to this. So basically, what's the opposite of greater than or equal to? Less than. Okay. So when you cross out the or equal to, that does switch also.
I don't like this lesson.
This is the review.
Yeah, I don't like the.
Yeah, the reviews a lot of times are hard because we're trying to do everything at once, but. And the last chapter review was particularly bad, but this one's not bad. Okay, x is greater than or equal to -2. What did this graph look like? We did a ton of these. Is the circle open or closed? Closed. And which way are we going? Right. See how the greater than kind of points to the right? So there are a few easy ones in this chapter. It's really the end of the chapter, the stuff we've done recently, that was harder. All right, number 7 just says solve. So how would I solve this? Add 17. Okay, guys, this is where you need to show some work. Even though this one's a little bit easier, I want you to start showing work here. -6 plus 17 is 11.
Mr. Jordan, have you ever had the hiccups when you haven't eaten anything? It feels like you're gonna hiccup your stomach.
No.
I hate hiccups. Like they actually want to be like that.
Can I please go get water?
Crash out.
I don't think it helps, but
It does help.
Yes, it
If
does.
you know, if
Sure.
you get
I have not eaten.
and
for
Savvy,
15
Savvy,
minutes.
your own spit. Drink it upside down.
Sorry.
yeah, Savvy. Drink it upside down. And then put it on the back of your chest, so don't swallow it for 5 seconds, and then
I think what actually helps
No, actually, it works.
Taught me
Everything.
something.
Actually, we're gonna whole spoon of it works.
doing that.
Actually, you know what? I was gonna do it the whole week.
Wait, can I just scare her? Because usually that gets away hiccups. Speaking of scared,
I looked at it, my hiccups
me
went
and
away.
Kizzy almost got
Oh,
kidnapped
no.
yesterday. That's crazy. By an old man, he was following us.
Oh my gosh.
We just stayed
Okay, here we go. What do I do on number 9?
Divide.
Divide. What happens when I multiply or divide by a negative?
Sign switches. Turn around, Daddy.
The inequality switches. So S is greater than, what's 21 divided by -5?
-3.
Oh, 5.
Okay, it doesn't divide, so it's -21 fifths. Doesn't divide well, I should say. Nicely. It's not quite.
No, I see one.
Number 11. Okay. It's been a while since we've taken turns. You guys want to take turns?
I'm just gonna keep it that way.
I have no idea. Hallie, what should I do on this one?
Do we subtract the 5?
Well, normally the B's on this side, so we have to get rid of the 5. In this case, the B is on the right side, so we need to get rid of the numbers on the right side to get B by itself over here.
Mr. Jordan.
Shh, be quiet, please. So what would we do? Subtract 7. Okay, and then what would we do? Divide the -3. So what do we need to do if we're dividing by negative? Switch the inequality. Okay. 4 is greater than or equal to B. But if I read the answer, the book would put B is less than or equal to 4. So you either have to be able to read it backwards or you need to rewrite it, I guess, one of the two. -3, 5x
Distributed property.
Distributed property, yeah, this one's kind of a mess. So
I love distributed.
distribute the -3. What can we do on the right side over here?
Add 5 plus 2.
5 plus 2. So -7x will stay. 5 plus 2 is 7.
Now you can add 24 plus 7. Or subtract 7.
You could add 15x or you could add 7x. If we add 15x, our x's will be positive and probably less likely to make a mistake. Okay, -7x plus 15x is 8x.
No, you just said 22x.
Well, if it was positive 7, it would have been.
I was thinking about a whole different equation.
Oh.
Mr. Jordan, are we ever gonna get a new
No, you
teacher?
weren't.
Oh, Mr.
Oh.
Jordan. I literally was.
Because 7 plus 15 is 22.
Yeah, well, I was thinking in my head, well, like, if this was a different equation, then it's
Someone fishes this morning.
Okay.
Stop lying. Stop lying. I'm just
Mr.
thinking
Jordan,
ahead.
Put down the shovels, Greasy. Put
Mm.
Are we ever gonna get a new city teacher?
Maybe. I kind of don't want to figure it out, but
Rooms get a little old and it's not the pleasing angle.
You
I like
know.
this photo.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh, right.
That's funny.
No.
okay. So does 17 divide by 8?
No.
Not very well. So it's
X is less than 17 over 8.
17.
Wait. I don't know, you went on.
Because I put x on the left, I switched the sign around too.
Wait, can you sing? Not you.
I want to stand on the table and say baka. Can I do that?
No.
Do you
No.
think the next one is gonna take
Oi,
up
oi.
as much space as
Cha.
okay. Well, we're not gonna say
So-
sign switch. Or flip.
Because I put
Because it's
x on the
there.
other side.
Oh.
So 17/8 is greater than x. So it's either this or this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, number 15. Find all the numbers such that adding 15 to 23 times the number is greater than 429. So, how do I write adding 15 to 23 times the number? Let's see, Nadia. How would I write that? Yeah. Yep. And then is greater than, which way does the greater than go? It's eating the left side, I guess. 429. How did your guys teachers teach you? Is it a bird or something? Alligator. Okay, now what do I do?
I mean, it's a
His drink was good.
Shh. Now what do I do?
You subtract 15.
I was getting there.
Wait. 425. 424.
I never word
414. Then you divide it by 23. And then in greater than like 100 and something.
No, not that big.
It's greater than 47. I was close. Oh, I didn't even solve it on my paper.
You made your DoorDash for me.
I would.
Okay, is 16 hard limit? Read that. Find the largest integer such that 8 more than 6 times the integer is less than x 42.
What planet?
What time you
Okay, 17. Find all the numbers such that the product of 7 and the number is more than. So, Gracie, what did product mean? Do you remember that one?
Hold on, I have it.
I'm just kidding.
It means multiply.
Yes. So it says the product of 7 and the number, so it's 7 times n, is more than, what would is more than translate into? Greater than. The sum, girls, stop screwing around. Sabby. Okay. Is more than the sum of 7 and the numbers. What did sum mean? Add. So 7 plus the number. All those words for such a little formula. What is the smallest integer to the solution? So the answer to this is a little bit different, and 16 is like this as well. They don't ask you just to solve it, it says what's the smallest possible answer. So let's go ahead and solve it like normal though. If I have n's on both sides, what do I need to do here?
Subtract.
Right, subtract this n away. So that's gone. 7n minus n is 6n.
So n is greater than 7/6.
Okay. However, if you put that, I'd only give you half credit. I'm talking about like number 16. They said, what's the smallest integer that would work for this? Okay, first off, what's 7, 6 as like a mixed number?
It's 1 and 1 6.
Okay, do you guys know what integers are?
Yes.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, or -1, -2, -3. What's the smallest number that n could be if it's greater than this?
1.
2. So what they actually wanted, if you put this, it'd be like half credit. So what they actually wanted is 2.
That's really
Because 2 is the smallest number, smallest integer that's greater than 1 and 1/6. That's what they asked for. On 16, they asked for the largest that's possible. So you'll have something like, I don't know, n is less than 21.5 or whatever. So if that was, what's the largest number possible for that? That would be 21. Largest integer that's less than 21. I just made that up. That's not the actual answer. Okay. 18 is a doozy, so I'll help you guys set that one up. Okay, Samuel makes twice as much per hour as Kathy. How would I write that as an equation? Samuel is twice Kathy. So S would be like Samuel's hourly wage, and K would be Kathy's hourly wage. So Sam's hourly wage is twice Kathy's.
Now we're gonna find out.
We gotta keep going. That's not enough info to solve yet. We gotta keep reading. Kathy works 3 times as many hours per week as Samuel. I forgot this one's a mess. Okay, Kathy works 36 hours, so they just tell us. I'll just put a note over here. So, how many hours would Samuel work?
40, 60.
Okay, it said,
2.
right before this, it said, yes, she works 3 times as many hours as him. So, if she works 36 hours, how many hours is he working?
12.
But it says that his are twice hers.
Okay,
His pay.
this is his hourly wage. So, she's actually going to make more money than him because she's working 3 times as many hours, even though he gets paid more per hour.
She's working on a bond.
Maybe he's a student and he gotta work part time. Where was I? Kathy works 36. The sum of their wages exceeds 480. Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky. So, how do you figure out your wages? What you have to do is, like, we've talked about this before. If you guys worked at Chick-fil-A and you got paid like $10 an hour, how would you figure out how much you made for that week? Right, you do your $10 an hour times how many hours you worked. So, we know how many hours they worked. So, Sam made $12 or 12 hours times his hourly wage would be 12S. Okay, we don't know how much he gets paid per hour yet, so but this represents how much he made. Plus, Kathy worked 36, so you take her hours times her hourly wage. And it says together their salaries exceed. What does exceed mean? Greater than, yes. What did it exceed? 480? Okay. Now, we're getting close. We're almost done. There's a trick we're going to have to use. I told you guys we're going to do this a lot in chapter 7. If S equals 2K, you guys remember this? I can turn this S into a 2K. How does that help me?
Because then you have almost variable.
Right. We only have one variable, and you can solve a one variable inequality or equation.
I remember doing this a while ago.
Yeah, we did it once or twice. I don't really expect you guys to know this yet, but when we get to chapter 7, you will have to be able to do it. Okay. Should I stop here?
Yeah.
So solve that for K, and that'll be Kathy's hourly wage. And then how would you find Sam's hourly wage?
Plug it back in.
Times 2, yeah. Kathy times 2 equals Sam. So
Yeah, I remember doing this. It was a really complicated thing.
go ahead and solve that for K. Don't forget to times 2. That's half the answer. Okay, on 19, how would you guys pronounce that name? What if it's a guy? If it's a guy, I'm pretty sure it's Ollie. That's exactly what I was thinking. Prince Ali.
David.
Who's David?
Jalapudi. He won Homecoming King his senior year, and so me and Moses call him Prince Ali. A little racist, but it's so funny. David, him and Rachel and Homecoming King.
Is Aladdin from India?
Yeah.
He is?
Kind of like this.
I thought he was Arabian.
Yeah, I think he might be like
Arabian or Indian. The only reason I say Indian is because the czar is kind of an Indian. Their leader is a czar. And that's
Okay, on 19, Ollie has test scores of 95, 78, and 93. He needs to make a test average of 90 to get an A on his report card. What's the lowest score he can get on his fourth and final test and still get an A? So, how do we average numbers together?
Add them and then divide them by how many got together.
Right. Add them together and divide by the number of numbers. So, how many tests are we averaging together? 4. Because we don't know his fourth test yet, but we're trying to figure out what he needs on his fourth test to get an A in the class. So, we're going to be adding 4 tests together. The fourth one is just unknown right now. So, 95 plus 78 plus 93 plus X divided by, how do we average 4 test grades?
You add them all together, then divide by 4.
Divided by 4. Okay, and his grade needs to be at least a 90 to get an A. So how do I put at least 90 up here? Greater than or equal to 90.
Oh. Yeah, is that going to be on the test? Because I did not get
I don't think I put a word problem on this one, but I might. I'll tell you next week for sure. Okay, now what can we do?
Add them together.
Yeah, these can simplify, right? I don't know if I can do that in my head. One, yeah, 266 plus X divided by 4. Now what?
Times 4.
Times 4. Because this whole side is being divided by 4, we need to get rid of that first. That 266 is not really a 266 because of that divided by 4. So anyway, we need to times 4.
It's 360.
This is driving me nuts.
And then you subtract. You subtract 266 by 360. 94.
Okay, what does that mean in this problem?
He needs to get at least a 94 to get an A.
Yeah. Good. You guys were like in sync on that one. Number 20. 2 inequality statements joined by the word and is called a what? Conjunction. 21 has the word union, which I never really taught you guys, but union goes with disjunction, so that's 21. Great. 27 would probably be about halfway, I think. There'd be less than half the problems left, but they take a little bit longer, so that probably evens out. Anyway, 23, 22, we're supposed to solve and graph. We don't really have to solve number 23 though. Okay, this is where the chapter got harder.
Is it like the up?
Really?
Because with the and a lot of us miss this on the homework, with the and you only use where they're both at, because it's got to be this one and that one. So where they're both at will have the answer.
Mr. Jordan, when do you say the test was?
Wednesday. What does x is greater than negative 2 by itself look like?
Going to the right.
Okay, and what is x is less than or equal to 4 by itself?
Closer, closer to the left.
Okay, what numbers are both of those? No. If it was an or, it'd be all, but if it's an and, it's only where they're both at. It's gotta be this one and that one. So that would be all these numbers in here. You guys see that? Out here, there's only one line. Out here, there's only one line, but in here, there's both. So 4 is in both, negative 2 is not in both, so that's why it's a circle. And then the line between them.
Why is this just fun?
If it was an or, it would have been all real numbers. Because or, you just need one. Okay. We don't have to solve this one either. What, okay, let's start with this. What does this symbol in the middle right here mean?
Or.
Or, yeah, it's also disjunction, but yeah, or. So on the ors, if one of the lines is covering it, it's going to be part of the answer. So x is less than 3 by itself would look like this. X is greater than or equal to negative 1 would look like that. So this is kind of like the last problem, except for it's an or. So what's the final answer going to be?
Negative 1.
No,
All real.
all real numbers. Because it's an or, so if it's in one or the other, it's part of the answer. And because together both lines cover everything, then everything is part of the answer. It can be in the top one or the bottom one, so it doesn't matter. On 23, it had to be in the top one and the bottom one at the same time. I got that song in my head, 16. Okay, on 27 it says 16x plus 4x on the right side. So let's just do that part in our head. So it'll be 20x minus 6. This is the and, I think. 20x minus, whoops, 6 is greater than 54. Okay, so on 27, we actually have to solve a little bit.
Going through it.
So add 12, divide by 4. Okay, now if we weren't graphing, you could stop right there, but we are graphing. 3 and 10. Alright, x is greater than 3 and greater than or equal to 10. Alright,
I'm gonna get like a 1%.
so and means it's gotta be in this one and that one. So where is it in this one and that one?
So x is equal to,
10.
or x is greater than
10.
or equal to 10.
Yes. Out here, see how they're both out here? If it was an or, it doesn't have to be in both, it can be in one of them. So if it was an or, we would have started back here. But if it's an and, it's gotta be where both of them are.
Can you just